Hey, how's it going? Coach D here from All Out Athletes. And we know if you're watching this podcast, you want to get to that next level. And we're here to help you ignite your training to get you there. And today we're going to talk about the second most important question any athlete in the world should ask themselves. And joining me today is author, motivational speaker, and professor in sports psychology, the great Dr. Gilbert. How's it going, Doc?
Not so well, because I told you I'd do the podcast with you. I can't remember the first most important question.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That's my favorite question. And that is, are you going to hold back or are you going to go all out? Are you going to hold back or are you going to go all out? That's the very first question any athlete should ask themselves before they start training, before they even go out for the team.
And if you're not going to go all out, how are you going to compete against the people that do? It's as simple as that. So every time you look at Coach G, you're reminded of that. But that's the first most important question. The second most important question is this. Are you willing to give up what you want now for what you want most? Are you willing to give up that brownie for that long-term weight loss? Are you willing to give up what you want in the moment, hanging out with your friends or working out with your coach? Now, we're not saying that friends aren't important, but when you bail on, I don't feel like working out today, not a good sign. So let me tell you when all this started. Stanford University, 1972, Professor Walter Mischel had 3- and 4-year-old kids, and he brought them into their lab one at a time, and he set them at a table and said, here's a marshmallow. You could eat the marshmallow right now, but I got to go out of the room for a second. And when I come back, if you haven't eaten the marshmallow, I'll give you 2 marshmallows. Well, it wasn't a second. It was usually about 15 minutes. And when he came back in, there were 2 types of people. The kids that ate the marshmallow and the kids that didn't eat the marshmallow. It's called delayed gratification. Are you willing to give up what you want now for what you want most? Well, 30 years later, they tracked down all these former kids, and they saw how these people were doing in life. The ones that waited, the ones who were able to delay gratification by every measure of societal standards, they did better in school, they were making more money, they had a better marriage. No matter what they were talking about, these kids did better. Are you willing to give up what you want now for what you want most? One more thing. This is what college is. Anybody could drop out of college and make more money immediately. But you're saying, okay, if I could go to college for 4 or 5 years and get a degree, in the long term, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to have a better job. I'm going to have a happier life than if I got a job immediately. Are you willing to give up what you want in the moment for what you want eventually?
And I love that test, because that test is very true, especially in every aspect of your sports career. So just to recap that, I love that test that they did with the kids. Just to recap it, when the kids waited and they didn't eat that marshmallow, they didn't eat that M&M, and it's funny because the kids kind of stand there, they make faces, and they look away from the M&M, they look away from the marshmallow, and they're in the room all by themselves for like 15 minutes, and they're looking away, and they don't know what to do, and some kids just grabbed the marshmallow, and they just popped it in their mouth, and they just ate it. They just could not wait. But those who waited got even more candy when that marshmallow was still sitting there when the teacher came back in the room. Well, how is it for you? Let's think about training, because that's why we're here, to get you to that, to ignite that training. I know even the great Jerry Rice, one of the greatest football players who ever lived, said that he felt like giving up every day. But what did he want the most? He wanted to be known as the greatest wide receiver in the history of football, and he is. That's what he wanted the most. So he had to give up how he felt in the moment for what he wanted the most. So he felt like giving up, and I know there's times in your training that you feel like giving up. Are you going to do it? What's that goal? Is that goal of being the best or being a champion or beating that one team or one competitor that you every year you cannot beat that team or competitor, and this is the year you're going to do it, because you're going to put that goal in front of your mind, because no matter how you feel in that moment, you're trying to get that skill. You've gone through it 50 times and you can't get that skill. But what do you want the most? I want to beat that competitor. I want to get the skill. So can you give up how you feel in the moment right now for what you want the most? Don't worry about what you're going through in the moment. Don't worry about what you're going through. Remember what you're going to. Doc?
That was perfect. So what's the takeaway? Are you going to give up hanging out for working out? Are you going to give up studying, sleeping for studying? Now we'll go. It's important to sleep and it's important to hang out with your friends. But when you start sleeping to avoid studying, when you start hanging out to avoid working out, then there's a problem. Then you're not an all-out athlete.
And a lot of athletes, we understand when you start training because you want to be the best, you have a hard training. Maybe some of you put so much energy into your training, it's too hard, but you know it's all going to be worth it in the end. And we get so frustrated when we're training and it's not happening for us and it's not going our way. If it feels like you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. There's a champion waiting for you on the other side. You becoming a champion is waiting for you. Keep on going. The 10 most powerful 2-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. And it is all up to you. It's up to what you want in the future. Give it up now for the champion you want to be later. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks, Doc.